afternoon. Welcome to Wanies Albert Academy. My name is Olayiwola Latoye, and I am an English tutor at Wanies Academy. Today, we'll be looking at participial adjectives. Specifically, we'll be looking at the identification of the forms and the uses of participial adjectives. So by the end of this lesson, learners should be able to define participial adjective, identify the forms of participial adjective, and state the functions of participial adjectives. Now, what is a participial adjective? It is an adjective it is a kind of adjective that has the form of a verb, but perform the function of an adjective. Now, as we have it here, it is a traditional term for an adjective that has the same form as the participle and that usually exhibits the ordinary properties of an adjective. Now, to fully understand how participial adjectives work, we need to study this diagram I have here. We are going to do a bit of a practical way. Now, if you look at this table, we have the present, the past participle, and the present participle. So a word like boy is the present form of the verb. Past tense is boyed. The past participle is boyed, still boyed. And the present participle, by present participle, we mean the continuous form. And that is what? Boiling. Boiling. We have interest. Interest. Something can interest someone, so that's the present form. Past form of interest is interested. The past participle is interested. And the present continue. The present participle is interesting. We can have other examples. For example, we can have crumble. Something can crumble. That's the present form. And the past tense of crumble will be what? Crumbled. Past participle will be what? Still crumbled. And the present participle will be crumbling. Now, these are different forms of the verbs that we know how we classify them on the table. Tense table, present, past participle, and the present participle. Now, when we say participial adjective, our focus will always be on the past participle and the present participle form of the verb. In other words, I can define participial adjective as the form of the verb, that form of the verb that performs the function of an adjective. The form of the verb, participial adjectives usually take the form of the verb, and that form usually performs the function of an adjective. So the past participle and the present participle can be used to play the role of an adjective. In fact, probably that is where that term got its name from, participial adjective or participle adjective. So if you look at the word boy here, which has the form of a verb, there is a way we can use it to function like an adjective. For example, I can say a boiled egg. A boiled egg. The word boiled in that expression is an adjective that describes the noun egg. Another example would be the word like swimming. We can have swim, swam, swum. And then the present participle of swim will be what? Swimming. Hence, we can have a swimming pool. A swimming pool. So swimming in that expression describes the noun pool. So swimming is a participial adjective. So all these verbs we have under past participle and present participle can function as participial adjectives. Now, there are two functions that participial adjectives play. One, they express how someone feels. We use participial adjective to express how someone feels. And we use the past participle. We use the past participle or the past participial adjective to express how someone feels. While we use the present participle adjective, the ing form, the ing participle, to express the person or the thing or the situation that has caused that feeling. Take note of the difference. The ed participle expresses how someone feels, while the ing participle expresses the person that caused that feeling. So if you look at the example we have here, I was really bored during the flight. I was really bored during the flight. The word bored here expresses the feeling of this person. It is the ED participle form, and it is used to express how the person feels during the flight. Now, when we compare that example to what we have here, I was talking to such a boring guy at the party. I was talking to such a boring guy at a party. If you look at the expression, a boring guy, the adjective here is what? Boring. Boring describes the guy. But remember, what form does it take? The present participle form. The present participle form. But then what will be the function? Boring here is expressing the person that caused how this person feels. Boring expresses the person that has caused the feeling that this speaker is going through. And who is the person? The guy. Makes this person, the I, to feel bored. In the previous example, we use the word bored, which expresses how someone feels. But here we have a boring guy. So a boring guy makes the I, this person, the speaker, to feel bored. So we use the ing participle to express the person that is responsible for the feeling that that person is going through. So that is how participial adjective works. And these are the different examples that we have. I was really bored during the flight. She is interested in history. She is interested in history. John is frightened of spiders. So frightened here is expressing how this person feels. John is frightened of spiders. Then look at the example we have here. I read a really interesting book. I read a really interesting book about history. So interesting book. So interesting identifies or expresses the thing that caused or that is responsible for the feeling that the subject is going through. So I was interested. Can you see? So interesting here identifies the book. So the book is responsible for what the person, the speaker, is feeling. The speaker feels interested. And that is expressed, that is caused by this object, book. So this is how participial adjective works. We have other examples. Many people find spiders frightening. So they are frightened when they see spiders. You see, my math teacher at school was really frightening. He was always shouting at the student. So frightening, it expresses the person that caused a particular feeling. Math teacher, frightening, makes the speaker to feel frightened. You see? So these are different examples of participial adjectives. You see? Different participial adjectives. We have them here. We have amusing, amused, boring, bored, confusing, confused, depressing, depressed, embarrassing, embarrassed, exciting, excited, ed participle, the ing participle. So I'm sure if you look at the examples under them, you will understand how they function. All the examples under each participial adjective here, you can easily identify the one that expresses someone's feeling, and you can identify the one that expresses the person or the thing that caused that feeling. I believe I've been able to explain the meaning of participial adjective, and so far, I'm sure that I have explained the forms that participial adjective can take and the two functions that they play, the two roles that they can play in a sentence construction. I believe I have been able to explain those two as well. We are going to stop here for today. See you next time. Bye.